Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something so simple yet so powerful that it can change the course of your life. Many of us live in homes filled with blessings, but unknowingly we allow certain things to enter our personal spaces, especially our beds, that invite poverty, sickness, and misfortune into our lives. Your bed is not just a place to rest. It is a spiritual sanctuary, a place where your body, mind, and spirit receive renewal. What you place upon it has the power to either bless or curse your life. I have seen time and again that the smallest neglect can open doors to challenges we cannot easily overcome. People ask me, Dr. Cho, why do I struggle even though I pray, I give, I believe? And I tell them, it is often the hidden things, the things you place where your soul should rest, that block the flow of God's blessings. This is why I'm urging you today to pay attention, to guard your bed, and to remove anything that can invite poverty or sickness into your home. Do not dismiss this as superstition or coincidence. There is a spiritual principle at work. Just as God commands us to honor our homes and our bodies, He also teaches us to honor the spaces where we rest. What you allow near you during your most vulnerable moments affects your health, your wealth, and your destiny. So listen carefully, for today I will reveal what you must never put on your bed and why doing so can change your life from struggle to abundance. Your bed is not just a piece of furniture. It is a sacred place where your body, mind, and spirit come together to rest, recharge, and receive renewal. Yet, many people overlook the spiritual and energetic significance of the objects they allow to come near this sacred space. Think about it. Your bed is where you lay down every night, surrendering your physical form to rest, but also where your subconscious mind remains active, processing the energies around you. When we place clutter, dirty items or negative symbols on our beds, we inadvertently invite poverty, sickness, and spiritual stagnation into our lives. This is not a matter of superstition. It is a matter of spiritual law, an unchanging principle that governs the flow of blessing in our lives. Many people are puzzled as to why they struggle with finances, why illness seems to linger, or why opportunities never seem to come, despite their prayers, faith, and efforts. The answer, more often than not, lies in the subtle, overlooked things that we allow into our personal spaces, especially the bed, the very place where God intended our bodies and spirits to be restored. Consider the energy of clutter. Old clothes, unpaid bills, broken objects, or items that carry negative memories are not just physical things. They hold vibration. Just as a magnet attracts iron filings, your bed as a center of rest and rejuvenation attracts energies that are compatible with the items placed upon it. When you pile your bed with unnecessary things, you create a dense, stagnant energy field around yourself. This field is heavy, oppressive, and it can subtly interfere with your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. The spirit of poverty does not need a grand invitation. It only needs a space to anchor itself. By placing items that symbolize neglect, disorder, or lack on your bed, you provide that space. Similarly, sickness, in its spiritual sense, is drawn to places that are unclean or misaligned. Many people do not realize that the very things they consider harmless, an old blanket, a stack of magazines, or even a worn-out pillow, can carry energy that diminishes vitality, invites disease, and hinders the flow of divine healing. The principle is simple. What you allow near your body during rest affects your life. Your subconscious mind is deeply attuned to your surroundings, especially in moments of sleep. When the conscious mind relaxes and the spirit is most receptive, negative items on your bed send silent, consistent messages to your subconscious. They speak of lack, neglect, and disorder. Over time, your subconscious begins to accept these messages as reality. And your life reflects that energy. Our poverty manifests not merely as a result of poor decisions or lack of effort, but because the energy around you has created a fertile ground for lack to grow. Sickness follows the same principle. Your body, spirit, and soul are designed to flourish in an environment of cleanliness, order, and positive energy. By contrast, a bed cluttered with negative items creates a hostile environment for health, well-being, and prosperity to thrive. It is important to understand that not all items are equal in their effect. Items that have been associated with stress, debt, emotional pain, or sickness carry heavier energy. For instance, placing unpaid bills, receipts of debt, or reminders of financial struggle on your bed can anchor the vibration of scarcity into your life. These objects serve as daily reminders to your subconscious mind that you are in a state of lack, reinforcing that reality over time. Similarly, items that carry negative memories, clothes from painful experiences, gifts from toxic relationships, or objects associated with loss can anchor grief, resentment, and low energy into your personal space. Even if you are unaware of it consciously, your spirit knows. Spiritual law responds to energy, and your bed is a sensitive receiver. When you combine physical clutter with emotional weight, you create an energy environment that can attract sickness, fatigue, anxiety, and a cycle of poverty that seems impossible to break. Cleanliness and order, on the other hand, invite divine favor. When you intentionally clear your bed of all unnecessary items and allow only clean, positive, and life-giving objects near you, you are sending a signal to the universe and to your subconscious that you are open to blessing, health, and abundance. This is why it is crucial to maintain a habit of not storing anything on your bed except what is essential for sleep and rest. Your bed should be a sanctuary, a holy ground where only life-giving energy resides. Sheets should be clean, pillows fresh, and the environment around you uncluttered. By doing so, you not only improve your physical health, but also create an environment where your mind can think clearly, your spirit can rest fully, and the flow of blessings can reach you without obstruction. Many people struggle because they do not see the connection between physical surroundings and spiritual outcomes. They pray for prosperity, yet sleep in clutter. They ask for health, yet allow their bed to accumulate neglected items. They desire peace, yet fill their resting place with reminders of worry, stress, and loss. Spiritual law does not negotiate. It responds to energy consistently. Your bed as a primary place of rest is especially sensitive. It is not merely a place for the body to sleep. It is a space where spirit, mind, and body converge, where subconscious programming is reinforced, and where energy is absorbed. Every item you place there matters, whether you recognize it or not. Every bill, every worn-out object, every piece of clutter sends a signal. If your intention is to live in prosperity, health, and peace, then it is essential to ensure that your bed reflects that intention. The process of cleansing your bed is simple but powerful. Begin by removing all items that are not essential for your rest. Evaluate each object with awareness. Does it bring energy that supports health, abundance, and peace, or does it carry the weight of poverty, sickness, or negative memory? Even seemingly harmless items can have hidden effects. Once removed, your bed becomes a blank canvas, ready to receive life-giving energy. This act alone may seem small, but it aligns you with spiritual law. As you sleep on a clear, unclouded bed, your mind, body, and spirit are free from the weight of negativity, and the flow of divine blessings can reach you more fully. Many people report immediate changes: better sleep, more energy, clarity in decision-making, and a noticeable shift in their financial or health circumstances. It is not just about removing clutter. It is about understanding the principle behind it. The spiritual universe responds to law, not wishful thinking. Just as God commands us to honor our homes and our bodies, He also instructs us to honor the spaces where we rest. Your bed is not a storage space. It is a sacred ground for restoration, healing, and renewal. By placing dirty, negative, or neglected items there, you are unknowingly obstructing the flow of blessings. By keeping it clean, positive, and orderly, you align yourself with abundance, health, and divine favor. Furthermore, this principle extends beyond the physical items themselves. It is also about the emotional and mental energy that those items carry. Debt, resentment, anger, grief. All of these emotions are stored in objects and transferred to your bed when you bring them close. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between physical and emotional weight. It absorbs both. This is why simply decluttering is not enough. You must also release the emotional charge associated with those objects. Forgive, let go, and cleanse your space spiritually. This combined approach ensures that your bed becomes a sanctuary, not just physically, but energetically, a space where your spirit is free to receive, your mind is free to think, and your body is free to heal. As you begin to apply this principle, you may notice subtle changes at first. Perhaps your sleep becomes deeper, your dreams more vivid, your mood lighter. Perhaps financial opportunities appear in unexpected ways, or your body feels more energetic. These are signs that the law is responding. The universe always honors clarity, order, and positive energy. By removing poverty and sickness-attracting items from your bed, you're not merely tidying up. You are aligning yourself with spiritual law, creating a fertile ground for prosperity, health, and peace to flourish in every area of your life. It is also important to teach this principle to your family. Children are especially sensitive to energy, and the habits they develop around cleanliness and order will affect their own prosperity and health. A cluttered bed is not just a personal issue. It can affect the energy of the entire household. By modeling care for your bed and removing items that attract negative energy, you are teaching the next generation to honor their rest, protect their health, and invite abundance into their lives. The ripple effect of this simple act can extend far beyond your immediate circumstances, influencing relationships, finances, and overall well-being. In addition, consider the spiritual discipline involved. Removing negative items from your bed requires mindfulness, intentionality, and daily vigilance. It is an act of obedience to spiritual principles and a demonstration of your commitment to living a life of health, prosperity, and divine favor. Every time you make this conscious choice, you reinforce a habit that aligns with spiritual law. You are no longer a passive receiver of circumstances. You become an active participant in creating the life you desire. The law responds to intentional action. And in this case, the intentional care of your bed is a powerful act that signals readiness for blessing. Many people have shared with me that after clearing their beds and removing clutter or negative items, they experienced dramatic shifts in their lives. Illnesses subsided, financial pressures eased, and emotional peace increased. These are not coincidences. They are evidence that the energy of your bed, like a magnet, attracts or repels according to the items placed upon it. Spiritual law is consistent. It does not change according to belief. The same principle applies, whether you are conscious of it or not. By choosing to remove items that attract poverty and sickness, you are consciously aligning with the forces of blessing, health, and prosperity, allowing your life to reflect the abundance that God intends for you. It is also important to note that the habit of placing negative items on your bed is often unconscious. Many people grow accustomed to clutter, accepting it as normal, not realizing the subtle ongoing drain it places on their life force. The danger is that over time, this becomes a pattern, reinforcing scarcity, illness, and stagnation. Breaking this pattern requires awareness, courage, and consistency. It requires a commitment to spiritual discipline and a willingness to recognize the unseen forces at work in your environment. Once you understand the principle, the solution is simple: remove, cleanse, and maintain. As you begin this practice, remember that your bed is a sacred space that deserves respect. It is where your body regenerates, your mind restores, and your spirit connects with divine energy. By keeping it free from clutter, dirt, or negative items, you create an environment where your life can thrive. Health, prosperity, and spiritual peace are attracted to spaces that honor life and vitality. The principle is simple. What you allow near your body during rest affects your life. Keep your bed clean, keep it sacred, and watch as the blessings that have long eluded you begin to flow naturally. Your bed is a mirror of your inner world. A cluttered bed reflects a cluttered mind, a distracted spirit, and an obstructed flow of blessing. A clean bed reflects clarity, vitality, and alignment with divine law. By paying attention to the energy you allow near your body during rest, you take control of your life circumstances in a profound way. You are no longer passive, waiting for blessings to fall from the sky. You are actively creating an environment that supports health, abundance, and spiritual growth. This is a spiritual principle that cannot be ignored. Now imagine the transformation that occurs when your bed becomes a sanctuary. Sleep becomes deep and restorative. The mind becomes clear and the body feels renewed. Health improves, finances stabilize, and relationships flourish. This is the power of aligning your personal space with spiritual law. The act of removing poverty and sickness, attracting items from your bed, is not just a mundane task. It is a profound spiritual practice that sets the stage for a life of blessing. Every night you rest in a space free from clutter, you reinforce a cycle of abundance, health, and peace. The objects you place on your bed communicate silently to your subconscious mind, to your spirit, and to the universe. Clean, positive, and life-giving items communicate readiness, receptivity, and alignment with spiritual law. Dirty, cluttered, or negative items communicate neglect, stagnation, and unworthiness. The choice is yours, and it is a choice that carries enormous consequences. Every night you sleep among positive energy, you reinforce the life you desire. Every night you sleep among clutter and negativity, you reinforce the struggles you wish to escape. This principle also extends to emotional and mental clutter. Thoughts, worries, and unresolved issues are as influential as physical items. If you carry stress, resentment, or fear to your bed, it merges with the physical environment, creating a compound effect that attracts sickness, fatigue, and financial challenges. The holistic approach is therefore essential. Clean your bed physically, release burdens emotionally, and cultivate a mindset that welcomes health, abundance, and peace. Spiritual discipline, awareness, and intentionality are required to maintain this practice. It is not a one-time act, but a daily commitment. Just as prayer, meditation, and scripture reading are practices that align you with divine law, caring for your bed is a tangible act of alignment. Every item you remove, every object you keep clean, every decision to honor your resting place strengthens your connection with spiritual law and sets the stage for continuous blessing. Over time, the cumulative effect is remarkable. Your physical health improves because your sleep is restorative and your body is no longer subjected to stagnant energy. Your mental clarity sharpens because your environment supports focused thought and relaxation. Your spiritual life deepens because your space aligns with the principles of life, vitality, and abundance. And your financial situation stabilizes because the law of energy responds to your intentional actions, attracting resources and opportunities that resonate with the clarity and positivity you have cultivated. Now think about the simple things that might be on your bed: a pile of laundry, old shoes, papers, or even objects of sentimental value that carry unresolved emotions. Each of these items carries energy. Some are heavy, some are neutral, some may even be positive, but anything that reflects neglect, lack, or negativity acts like a magnet for poverty and sickness. The key is discernment and conscious action. Decide what is essential, what is positive, and what nurtures life. Remove everything else and create a sanctuary that supports your body, mind, and spirit in full alignment with divine law. This principle is universal and unchanging. It is not dependent on belief systems or culture. It is the law of energy and spiritual order. What you allow near your body during rest influences your health, prosperity, and overall well-being. To ignore this principle is to ignore a fundamental truth about how life works. By embracing it, you unlock the potential for extraordinary transformation in every area of your life. Your bed becomes more than a place to sleep. It becomes a source of vitality, abundance, and spiritual strength. It is also important to note that this practice cultivates awareness and mindfulness. Once you begin to observe the energy of the objects around you, you start noticing other areas of your life where clutter, neglect, or negative energy may be affecting you. Your bed becomes a starting point for a broader practice of spiritual discipline, cleansing, and intentional living. You begin to see that every aspect of your life is interconnected, and that small conscious actions can create profound change. By committing to this practice, you are taking responsibility for your life in a way that honors spiritual law. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance or external forces. Instead, you actively create a life that reflects health, abundance, and peace. Every night, you sleep on a clean, positive, and life-giving bed. You reinforce these principles, and over time, the effects compound, transforming your life in ways that are both visible and subtle. The spiritual principle is clear. What you place near your body during rest affects every area of your life. Clutter and negative items attract poverty and sickness, while cleanliness, order, and positive objects attract health, abundance, and divine favor. By aligning your bed with these principles, you create a foundation for a life of blessing. The physical, emotional, and spiritual benefits are profound, extending far beyond the simple act of cleaning a bed. This understanding calls for action. Begin today by evaluating the state of your bed. Identify items that carry negative energy, represent neglect, or symbolize scarcity. Remove them with intention and awareness. Replace them only with items that support rest, health, and positive energy. Clean your sheets, refresh your pillows, and maintain order consistently. Transform your bed into a sanctuary that aligns your body, mind, and spirit with the flow of blessing and prosperity. When you make this a consistent practice, the effects will ripple through your life. You will notice improvements in sleep, energy, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Opportunities will arise more easily, financial challenges will ease, and your health will be supported by the energy of your environment. The spiritual law is clear. Your bed reflects your life. By keeping it free from poverty and sickness attracting items, you set the stage for a life of abundance, health, and divine favor. This practice also cultivates discipline and intentionality. qualities that are essential for spiritual growth. By paying attention to the seemingly small details, you train yourself to recognize the unseen forces that influence your life. You learn to take responsibility for your environment, your energy, and your circumstances. Each act of cleaning, removing, and maintaining your bed becomes an act of spiritual obedience, a tangible demonstration of your commitment to living in alignment with divine principles. Your bed is a reflection of your inner world. A cluttered bed mirrors a cluttered mind and stagnant energy. A clean, organized bed mirrors clarity, vitality, and alignment with spiritual law. By removing negative and neglected items, you create space for life-giving energy to flow. Health, prosperity, and peace are attracted to spaces that honor life and vitality. The principle is simple, but the impact is profound. Every item you remove strengthens the flow of blessings, and every positive item you place supports your growth and well-being. It is also essential to consider the emotional and spiritual charge of items. Old letters, broken objects, or gifts from toxic relationships carry energy that can linger and affect your well-being. By removing these items, you release not only the physical clutter, but also the emotional and spiritual weight they carry. This creates a holistic environment where your bed becomes a true sanctuary, supporting your body, mind, and spirit. As you continue this practice, you will notice a shift in how you feel about your space, your health, and your life. You will experience a sense of clarity, peace, and alignment that extends beyond your bed into every area of your life. The spiritual law responds consistently to your actions, and by maintaining a sacred, clean, and positive bed, you align yourself with the flow of blessings, health, and abundance. Now let us consider the cumulative effect of this simple principle. Each night you sleep on a bed free from negative items, your subconscious mind absorbs positive energy, your spirit rests in a pure space, and your body rejuvenates fully. Over time, these small, consistent actions compound, leading to significant improvements in your health, financial situation, emotional well-being, and spiritual life. This is the power of alignment with spiritual law, the principle that governs the flow of life and blessing.